Welcome to Unshakeable, the podcast that shares stories of resilience in the face of life's toughest challenges. I'm your host, Siviwe Shakes Soizwapi, and each week we dive into real conversations that not only inspire but help us grow, offering insights on how to navigate our own struggles with strength and purpose. Because resilience isn't about being unbreakable, it's about standing firm when life tries to shake you. This is Unshakeable. Let's get into it. We are back here on Unshakeable for yet another episode, and today I've got a very special guest, a good friend of mine. We've walked quite a journey together, and I'm really looking forward to this one. A man born and raised in the Western Cape. He's a social entrepreneur, the founder of an incredible foundation called Be the Difference. It's in the name. He is the difference that you see in this world, particularly in the Kraaifontein community. Today I've got Granthem Abrahams. Papa G, welcome to Unshakeable.
Thank you very much for having me, man. It's incredible to be here. And I'm really excited to share the vision and the dream with others. But thank you for having me, and thank you that I can be part of your dream.
I'm gonna dive straight into the deep end. You know, I'll swim to the shallow end though, and I'll come back again to the deep end. But what is Be the Difference Foundation about?
Yeah, Be the Difference Foundation is a non-profit organization that strives for positive youth development. So our focus is the youth and the community. So we have a holistic approach to our organization where we look at sport, education, nutrition, and the community impact. But what started with a plate of food turned into a sports academy, and then it went to education and now community impact, where we in the past only focused on the individual, like making sure the kid is on the rugby field and the kid gets a bursary. We're now looking at improving his academic marks, making sure he's got a meal to eat. And then now we're looking at mom and dad, training mom and dad in the computer class, making sure mom and dad gets a job. And I think that's the exciting part about the organization, because there's a holistic approach. It's just one way. It's looking at everyone in the household.
Yeah, I've got two questions that I want to ask. When I jump onto your website, I see that you are an NPO, that is a PBO status. First question is, what is an NPO? And then the second one is, what's the difference between an NPO with an PBO status and one without?
I think for most people to understand that when you have a PBO, it's like having NOS in your car. That's
turbo.
That's your turbo. That's the secret. NPO is a non-profit organization within South Africa's constitution of focus on social development. We've got about 290,000 NPOs registered in South Africa currently. So we're hitting the 300,000 mark. When we started 12 years back, it was like 250. So that's a sad reality about it, because about 52 to 60% of these NPOs do not submit financial reports on an annual basis, so they get deregistered. So that number is quite large, but it becomes a very difficult thing. So an NPO is basically for companies to also give back to the community, and once you have that security of giving back to the community, companies can also claim this back from SARS. So that's why you have a PBO. So it's a public benefit for organizations and for companies that wants to give back, but also be in good standing with the government and good standing with SARS. So that also counts as a positive tick box for them, and also as a BE standard. So when, for example, I sponsor you, my company can go back to SARS and say, listen, I've given BTD R1, and then you can maybe get 70 cents back. So that's how technical it starts getting very technical. But in giving back is, I always encourage NPOs to understand that someone is not sponsoring you. You're not giving a donation. You are in partnership. This is a business transaction. You are giving back and you are doing the work in the community, and someone else is funding it.
To be honest with you, I always thought it's like a heartfelt thing. It's something that you are an individual that just has a heart for people, poverty, or developing a certain area or a part of a country, or whatever the case may be. But you're telling me that people can go into it just for those benefits that they can get.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's still largely the love of the community.
Yeah.
You still get Gogo in the community that making food and giving to the community because he loves and he wants to help. You still get people in ECD that has a small house and they maybe have a creche or something going there. So people are still doing it.
Okay.
But businesses is also seeing the opportunity of registering their own NPOs
Yes.
and then keeping the funds within the business. So if you look closely, you'll see a lot of large companies, they have their own organizations. So they would then write off the funds within the NPO that they have registered, which is sad. But that's the reality of the space that we're in.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and you just keep going.
It started, you mentioned in the beginning that it started with a plate of food for you.
Yeah.
So you are describing be the difference. So for me, if you said it started with a plate of food, what went through your mind and what were you feeling inside for you to have that start?
It was on a spiritual journey. It was basically in May back in 2014. I just wanted to help people and give back. And my mom said, "Hey, what are you gonna do for your birthday?" I said, let's give people food, man, because I see people scratching in the burn. I see people walking around, and where we came from, it was not a common thing. You understand? I stayed in a private estate where you were not exposed to things like that.
Yes.
So when we moved to Kraaifontein, I got more exposed to these type of incidents where I see people struggling and not having a meal, and I started Be the Difference back in 2014 with 120 rand. One pot of bully beef pasta, I can still remember, just going out in Wallasdene and just dishing out food and giving to people, and overnight it became everyone's mission and vision to make a difference and add value in their own personal capacity.
This is exactly why I said this man is a visionary, and I've heard these stories. He's a good friend of mine, and I that's why I was so inspired to have Grantham on Unshakeable, because his story resembles that perseverance through tough times, the grit, and I think more than anything, it's the heart that you mentioned that goes with everything. You also said that you are not exposed to a community such as Kraaifontein. Going back to the days before you moved to Kraaifontein, how was life for you?
Beautiful, man. I only have good memories of childhood. I see myself as very privileged. I don't come from wealth, but I come from privilege. And when I say privilege, I still have mom and dad in my life, and I look at that as something special. This Father's Day, I had the opportunity to spend with my father, and most people don't have that opportunity. And for me, the small things is the blessings in life, you understand? So that is privilege for me. I've got a beautiful family. I'm excited about that, and I have the freedom of taking my son to school, picking my son up. So for me, that is in a nutshell the blessing. My father has rooted these things in my life, so it's a happy childhood, and now I get to do this with my children.
Wow, incredible. And would you say then it's just a mindset that you have, or because if someone watches this today, they will be like, no man, this guy just thinks differently, or he goes through everything that we go through and he just decides not to. Would you put it down to?
I think it's broader than that.
Okay.
It's good to say it's the mindset, but I think you have to go through the trials and tribulations. You have to go through the storms. You have to go through the journey of life and that personal things in order to get to that certain destination. I had to go through what I went through to be where I am today. And that created this individual that you speak to today, and with the confidence and the belief system. I had to fail. I had to get the no's. I still get about 12 to 15 no's a week. So that for me is normal. I'm excited about that, but I look at it differently. So it's about the perspective that has changed. Sometimes we go through a challenge of an injury or a financial situation, and then we look at, hoe kom ek deur hierdie ding gaan? But it's actually looking at, okay, what are you trying to do, God? What are you trying to show me, God? So I say the same thing, I just say it differently.
Appreciate that, and that's what I love about you as well, which is truly incredible. So that one plate of food, and what makes it special is that it was a birthday gift. Not to yourself, but it was actually to yourself, because I'm sure you felt so much gratitude.
100%.
So it's so fulfilling for you to do that on your birthday. What was the vision from there?
For me, it was a spiritual journey, as I said previously. So my understanding about the Bible, about the church, was it's hope. It's believing and seeing something that you do not understand, and the only way that you can literally show people is through action.
Yes.
Like sometimes when you go through something and you phone a friend and that friend will say, posas Nefa, posas. You don't want to hear about stay positive.
No.
You want someone to physically be there for you, physically support you. And for me, that journey was about not only speaking about how good God is, but showing people how good God is.
Yes.
For me to be the light and the salt in other people's lives. So I physically wanted to, okay, what am I good at? Oh, I'm in the sports industry. Let's use sport. Oh, I've got, my friend is a professional athlete. Let's bring my friend in, you understand?
Yeah.
So that is how we looked at it. What are we good at and what do we have?
Yes.
And then we started just walking this journey.
Incredible. You say we. Is it your team that you talk about, or why do you say we?
I say we because everything that we have accomplished and every achievement was a collective effort. It wasn't me. And I never want to make it about me. It's about my friends and my family. Particularly, I can use you as an example. I can say, Shaky, we have this event coming up. Shaky, we're washing the kids' feet. Shaky, we're doing it, and you will come out and you will support that. So for me, it's a collective effort, you understand? I just shared what God has put on my heart, and then I told my friends and my family, and they said, okay, let's do this. But understand, people are not always going to support you.
Yes.
People are not always going to be there. They are also on this platform to elevate themselves, to grow as a professional athlete, to grow as a professional coach. Any profession that they are in, I want them to grow. I want my friends to start businesses. I want them to register a business and go on a new journey. And for me, that is exciting. Two of my close friends have started their business this year. Wow. So I'm excited to go on that journey with them and see them elevate, you understand?
Yes. What's the importance of having a vision, would you say? Because for me, I can see that, like I mentioned it again, it started with that one plate of food, but you had a vision of incorporating and including a broader community, friends, family, and people that you are within your circle. From there, you went on to build your team and you started having meetings. I'm sure you started strategizing. You started having a way that you approach every day with Be The Difference Foundation. Why is it important to have a vision first and not just jump into whatever it is, a thing?
Yeah, for me personally, vision gives identity. It gives you a place of affirmation, like you know who you are. I think it's important to understand who are you and what are you good at and where you are going. And a lot of time when I give people advice, for the last 3 days I sat with ex-professional rugby players. For the last 3 days, each player, different scenario, but same issue. You understand? I always tell people, when you go on this journey, understand who are you, what do you want to achieve through this thing you want to start, this vision thing.
Yes.
Because the road ahead gets lonely. There's a lot of sacrifice, and people are not going to be there every step of the way. So when it comes to vision, it's understanding who you are. It's a beautiful place to be at, but it's also a place to understand that it's a sacrifice, and it's going to get tough. But that is who you are as an individual. God has given it to you. Make sure you get a word from God before you go on this thing you call vision, you understand? Because sometimes people have a business idea and they misinterpret that as vision from God or purpose from God. But each and every individual has a purpose from God. There's something within each and every one of us, the ability and the talent to do great things. And I'm grateful to sit here today and share my vision, and God answering my prayers, but also giving me a guideline into this wat ek wil hê moet doen my seun. So for me, that is a place of identity.
The people that you work with at Be The Difference Foundation, I'll say the volunteers. Or let me rephrase the question. Do you have volunteers and do you have people that are permanent within Be The Difference?
Yeah, for the last few years, we've been on this journey with volunteers and members. You come and you go and you help where you can. But we are grateful to God that we have now 10 people that work for the organization and earn a salary. So what started as someone that cooked for free is now getting paid to cook. You understand? Coached for free, now you're getting paid to coach. And that's a special place. Because it means God is faithful and He can't change His mind. So what He's promised me is now everyone that's sitting around the table is now benefiting from that. And that for me is a special thing to see. Not only are the kids getting bursaries and going to university and graduating from university, but the coaches are now getting professional jobs and earning good salaries, and that's good to see. The S&C coaches are now getting professional contracts and also being able to look after themselves.
Yes. Also, I know I've been there. Also on your website, it says that there's 3 legs and 3 tiers within Be The Difference Foundation. Do you mind just elaborating on the 3 from nutritional, education and sports?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it started with a plate of food, just giving food to people, and it was just randomly, like everyone that's hungry would get a plate of food. But over the years, it's become so successful in a way of preparing. Now we do specific feeding. We're feeding our household, we know who works in the house, we know the ID number of the household, we know how many people is in there. Currently, as we speak, they are cooking the food, putting it in containers, and then writing the people's names on the bag and delivering it at the household. So that's special because you've seen that program grown and giving birth to other programs.
Yes.
So that's how we started with Be The Difference Foundation. That led to our sports program, which is currently at 110 schoolboy bursaries, 110 schoolboy and university bursaries, 4 graduates of university. I've got currently 12 boys at university on a bursary. So the sports program is a student athlete identity. It's where we have a platform where kids can come and be themselves, but also empower themselves. Jy moet goed doen op die veld en van die veld af. And that's why we started the academic program of having an educational structure of that anyone's kinders kan nie 'n ding doen nie. It just you need someone to help him with the maths or the accounting. So that's our after school initiative where teachers literally sit with kids and help them improve their marks. Because we know you have to go to university, you have to have a 65% average. That's one of our exit points. We have a college structure, you have to have above 50 to go to the college. So we need your marks to be good. You can be a talented rugby or netball player, but if you don't have the marks, you are limiting your opportunities. And especially for leadership also, we want kids to do good in the classroom so they can get more opportunities after school. We are very focused on exit point. What happens after this thing? And I wish more professional athletes would have that mindset of what's going to happen after my career? What am I doing now to secure things after my career? And lastly, our new program is the community impact. So it's a computer program that we started. We do 6 weeks, 20 adults at a time. So it's kids that's in our programs, parents. Teach them basic things, Word, Excel, how to use the internet, how to start your email address, and then we start looking for jobs for them. So to date we've trained 40 and 7 has already gotten jobs. So that for me is special because it helps the whole household. As we said in the beginning, holistic approach.
100%. Gee, I really love hearing this. And you touched on professional athletes, and their mentality on thinking forward, and we're going to get to that when we swim a little bit to the shallow end, because I said I'm diving deep and I'm actually moving closer to the shallow end. So, but the one thing I want to ask before I move to that side is what do you get from all of this, from being the leader of Be The Difference Foundation and helping people every day, waking up so early and making sure that all the boxes are ticked and everyone is looked after?
There's 2 things that's you can't put a price to, and the first thing is freedom. I have the freedom of taking my son to school and picking my son up every day. I've never missed a sport event, I've never missed a tour. I'm there when my wife needs me to be there, and I don't have people that gives me a schedule. I have my schedule. So the freedom for me is the priceless thing about this industry. It created a platform where I can truly be myself and fully live purposeful, and it doesn't feel like you are working. So that for me is the first thing that's priceless. And the second thing is the relationships. It has given me the alignment of the biblical verses, 2 is better than 1. Pity on him who falls and has no one to count on. And for me that is so special because this purpose and this vision and this company has given me great relationships and great friends, and it's truly helped me build my identity and shape my spiritual being. So that's the 2 things I always think that this brand has created for me.
I think that's the identity you had, and that's who you were from the beginning.
It just shapes you. It just shapes you.
Exactly. It was just a journey that
100%.
that kind of
a difficult journey.
I'm sure.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it truly makes you who you are. That's why we said previously, you have to go through these trials and tribulations. You know what's crazy? I read this verse in James, consider these trials and tribulations as pure joy. When you read it, like, it's a malo, bro. If you read it, like, who wants to go through an injury and say, pure joy? Financial strain, pure joy. Sickness, pure joy.
Yes.
But if you read further, it says, in due time, all these things will come to pass, you understand? So every single individual, there's a set date where things is going to change. Your breakthrough is going to come. Things are going to get better. So we have to have that mindset of, there's a reason for my season.
Moving straight to the shallow end. Because you touched on it so quickly and you got there with that scripture verse. For me is, why should I? Why should I want you touched on it because you touched on what happens when you persevere, when you're resilient through that tough time. But in the moment that thing is happening, I just feel like I can't move forward.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
But it's saying the same thing, just saying it differently. Remember what we said? Sê dieselfde ding, sê dit verskillend. So instead of saying, why me? Why not me? Because you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, if not you, who? If not now, when?
Yes.
And this is the type of questions you have to ask yourself is, there's a reason for my season, and whatever you are going through, you have to go through it.
Yes.
And I said previously, I had to go through all that things to get to where I am today. You can't skip it. You can't go around it. You must go through this thing, you understand? So it's, for me, my message to people is always, say the same thing, just say it differently. You look at the situation, don't say, why must I go through this thing?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
To embrace the moment. What is God saying to me?
But I feel like it's hard, G.
It is difficult, and it's supposed to be difficult. It must be difficult. Because if it was easy, then why would you have gone through it? You understand? So for me personally, it's I tell people is face it head on. Take the challenges that comes your way. It's going to make you stronger. You are not going through a challenge to break you.
Yeah.
This is to build you.
Yeah.
But it's difficult. I said to you, like, when you phone someone, you don't want to say, wees positief, my bra, dinge gaan verbeter, ek dink aan jou. You don't want to hear about positives, you understand? You want to have a solution for this moment now. You know, when I met my wife, and I've got an amazing wife, and I'm so grateful for God for that. Because my wife now wants to talk about things.
Yes.
Like you are now saying, why must I go to this? Yes. So my wife is now, I am a doer.
Yes.
I want to get things done. I want to solve this problem.
Yes.
My wife wants to talk about, hey, how was your day? What did you do today? Why are we going through this thing? What can we do to, you understand? So I'm learning to look at situations differently. To have questions and answers for my situation. And not just good things. You understand? So for me, that is a beautiful part about my identity now and the person that I am now and my partner that I have now. I can look at situations differently.
Yes.
And I can speak about it.
Yes.
I can be open about it. And as men, we sometimes struggle with that issue of addressing the situation, speaking about our emotions, and being emotional. That's why you are asking, why me?
Yes.
Why not you?
If not you, who?
Who? Where?
No, that's incredible, and I really love that. And I also wanted to ask, before I move totally away from Be the Difference and your everyday, you probably, not even probably, you have so many kids that you meet on a daily basis, and you now regard them as your sons and daughters.
Definitely.
So for them, I spoke about that, and I asked the question in that way because I know particularly teenagers and younger people that are not as experienced in life as maybe you and me are. They don't see it the same way. Yes. How do you carry that message across to a different age group and the what do they call it? This generation.
Gym. That's this new gym. Every generation has a new hashtag now.
Yeah.
I think it's being
Gen Z's.
Being relatable. Being relatable to the community kids and knowing what's going on. They listen to different music. They have different style of clothes. They have different slang. And if you're in development, in social development, you have to have an understanding. First and foremost, have an understanding, because you will probably not remember this, but you gave me a book years ago, spoke about love languages, the different love languages. I read this book and I totally had a different understanding. So what I did was I used that in all platforms. My relationship, my business, my private lifestyle.
Yes.
To understand that each person loves differently. Each person's gateway or door is differently.
Yes.
So it's the same with the kids. I can't treat each kid the same.
Yes.
I can't treat each kid the same. It's different kids, different emotions, different household circumstances. That's why, to answer your question, it must be relatable.
Yes.
You must understand your beneficiary.
Yes.
I've got a lot of kids. I've got now on a weekly program, 72 kids that's part of our netball and our rugby program that you basically would see every week.
Yes.
It's difficult to get to everyone. It's difficult to understand everyone. It's difficult to have that one-on-one with everyone. But you need to understand your beneficiary so you can be relatable to your beneficiary.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's not going to be easy. But it comes back to vision.
Yes.
It comes part of that vision of things. You must be called to do this job. You must be called to walk this pathway.
That's why your surname is Abrahams, because you are the father of all nations.
Abraham.
you have many sons.
Many sons. And it's beautiful because Father's Day, all these kids would send you a message and say Happy Father's Day, because it also reminds you of how much you mean to other people, and what value you add to other people. And the thing about vision and purpose, it's not for yourself. Vision and purpose is not about the individual. If you are faithful and disciplined in what God has called you to do, it will light candles in other people's lives.
Yes.
It will inspire them to dream, and then they will go on there and embark on their journey and make a success out of their life to inspire other people. It's a ripple effect.
Do you think that, going to what you said about sports people, do you think that as sports people we kind of approach our duty and talents that we have on the field as something that we do rather than a vision or a mission that we have out there on the field?
Definitely. I've been hammering on this thing for 2 decades now. And I always tell professional athletes, whatever you do in your professional sports career will determine what happens after your professional sports career. If you still go to work and think that you are a rugby player, you are on the wrong platform, brother. And that's the sad reality is network, and when you have an opportunity, network. Because you have to build relationships. You are not a rugby player. That is just a gift God has given you, but it's the platform that is given you to do so much more. Go for the coffee, play the golf. If the school invites you and the church invites you, go out there. God has given you a platform to glorify His name and also to fulfill your purpose.
Nail on the head. I won't drag this too long, and I know me and you, we have these meetings, we have these lunch dates.
It's 2-3 hour coffee.
It's 2-3 hours, but for the sake of time, I want to, before I let you go, actually, I want to ask you, what type of leader are you?
Oh, what type of leader? I don't even look at myself as being this
leader. You are
leader.
a leader. I mean,
I know people say, you a leader? You a father? You a... But I don't look at it as a specific title or a specific thing, you understand?
Yes.
For me, I'm a very driven person. I'm a very direct person.
Yes.
I'm solution
based,
but I also like solving things. Ek like nie lang hamer op 'n ding nie. Understand? I don't like rules. And in order for you to be successful, you have to break that rules. Yes. And that's the sad reality about it. So I play it safe. I don't want to say, hey, I'm a leader. I'm definitely a leader. I'm a bold leader. I'm a lion. I've got a lion mentality.
The thing is, you also mentioned that you take action. That's the thing. That's what makes me say you're a leader.
No, definitely.
You take action and you go for it.
100%. But the leadership comes with that mentality, you understand? And my mentality is the same every day. I'm not on today and off tomorrow. I'm consistently disciplined. And that is what makes me successful, and that is what makes me a successful leader. I'm consistent. I've been doing the same thing. The funny thing is, and I told you that on Youth Day also, I've been doing the same thing every single day for the last 12 years. You understand? People are just noticing more banners now. They're just seeing more things now. Yes. They're just seeing you. There's a beautiful reel out on Instagram that said, it's not that God has given people a word about you. They just saw you on social media. Because things are good now. You understand? And that is the thing. I've been consistent in my journey. I've been disciplined in my journey. And that will then lead to say that, this is a good leader. But I'm a lion. You know, I'm fearless, I'm bold, and I'm unshakable. That's why I'm unshakable today, kids. I'm unshakable.
Guys, this is exactly why I had Grantham on Unshakeable. He is unshakable. And G, I just want to thank you so much for imparting with us, sharing with us. This is the heart of Unshakeable. And you are an easy candidate to go for because of that. And I really appreciate you as a friend. And thank you for also pushing me in all areas. And I've got a couple of books from you as well that I've received. So we do. This is our
remember to put the money notes in the books.
You know what I mean?
It's very important.
I'll share with the Unshakable community about that on another episode. But Granthem Abrahams, the founder of Be the Difference Foundation, is a man of vision, is purpose driven, and a man of God. So again, thank you, Grantham, for joining us.
Thank you that I can be part of your dream. And I like this. You probably sat and you had the opportunity to say, this is my dream, and now I can be part of your dream. And this is special. Thank you very much.
Thank you, G. Appreciate it.
Danzo, thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning into Unshakeable. If today's story moved you, inspired you, or gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about staying rooted when the world shakes. If you haven't already, hit follow, leave a review, and help us grow this community of resilient voices. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, stay unshakable.
You know what the scary thing is? People like chaos. They like chaos. I was looking at stats of people that was beefing one another.
Yeah.
And then their platforms just boomed up. But when they were posting their normal content, they were getting a few likes.
It's like days of our lives.
When there's chaos, it was this wasn't not earning money of chaos, you understand?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a cultural thing or identity thing.
It's a human thing.
But it's a scary thing, you
It's
understand?
very bad.
Because things must go bad for you to actually support.